Tank Davis responded to some reporters about Shakur Stevenson possibly fighting in the future with him, and he was just responding like how he look his last fight. And then he said, when that's me, people want me to lose. He was saying a lot of people want to see him lose, and when it's him that's performing like Shakur Stevenson did, people have a problem with it. They just want to see him lose, and it's different when he's fighting. And he said Floyd had that same problem when he was on top all these years. For so long, people wanted to see him fight. Now, I understand what Tank's saying, but he has to understand this. And I keep saying this for some reason, it's getting out of hand, but he's not Floyd as far as this generation, or at no point is he like Floyd. Floyd was not in a position like a Tank Davis at no point in his career until he fought De La Hoya. But Floyd wasn't in a position like Tank. By the time Floyd got to his age, he was fighting guys like De La Hoya already. But that was like the premier primetime type of fights. As far as him right now, it's not a lot of boxers that's been in a position like Tank Davis in history, to be honest with you. Especially the age he's at right now. At 30 years old, it's not a lot of guys that's been in his position. He's having an exhibition right now in the middle of his career at 30 years old. I doubt there's people out there that just want to see you lose at this point. We're just trying to see big fights, to be honest with you. I mean, Canelo just went out there and had a tough fight. Ain't nobody above the standard at this point. That's why that fight was so, what would I say? Such a big deal in the sport of boxing, because nobody's bigger than the sport right now. When it comes to making these big fights, everybody trying to do it, or you're going to get passed up. Because the way I see it right now, Shakur Stevenson is going to be in talks for fights, whether he fights Tank Davis or not. We already know that. But Tank saying anything about Shakur's last fight or whatever, I mean, doesn't matter how he performs. He's been saying that all the time. Like, what about his last fight and this fight? And how did he look his last fight? He says that all the time, but really doesn't matter how he looked his last fight if he's still a top name and still a champion at 135. That's never been the topic of conversation when it came to guys that Tank fought. So, I don't know. It's kind of, you can say that's duck talk a little bit, scared talk. Because why would he have to be held to a standard nobody else is being held to? I just don't understand that. His last performance, what about it? I mean, Shakur can go out there and do the same thing everybody else been doing. I mean, Pitbull and all these other guys, Ryan, they didn't have no just superb performances that earned them a fight. I don't understand that. And Pitbull had a loss before he even fought Tank, so the standard of having a high standard to fight somebody, then you about to fight Jake Paul. I just don't understand it. But Jake Paul was going at him about taking a knee in the roast fight. That kind of got him upset a little bit, but it didn't really bother him that much. But you could tell some of the things that he said about that fight really bothered him. Because, people just don't want to ask Tank those tough questions right now, but he knows that people are wondering, like, hey, what's up with the rematch? Why is this not happening? It's the type of fight that people want to see right now. But to say people want to see you lose, I just can't agree with that. A lot of people don't want to just see him lose. He's at the point right now where the division he's in, 135, it's already been depleted a little bit. And when you have Shakur, who's not been in that division long compared to the guys who've already left, people are trying to see that matchup before that one falls apart. That's all it is. But I don't know. The way Tank looks at it, thinks a lot of people want to see him lose. In boxing, somebody has to lose. So, yeah, of course people are going to want to see you lose. They want to see the other guy win. But to say that just most people want to see him lose, I highly doubt it. I just doubt it at this point. Because the roast fight is not even being talked about as much right now as it should have been, in my opinion. If it was still talked about to the point where it was brought up all the time and people bring it up to kind of defend Tank as far as the backlash from the fight, but I don't hear too many people bringing up the fight with like demanding it, especially right now. But that's all I got. Like and subscribe.